Christy will present. She's graduating with a 4-year Bachelor of Arts, major in Communications and Media.
One cannot not communicate. This very common phrase was first introduced by communication theorist Paul Václavic, who studied families and identified the family as a system where each person is affected by and affects the others in the group. Whether those in the family system are engaging or avoiding one another, or communicating in a verbal or nonverbal manner, this theorist discovered that every loud or silent gesture, every grunt or phrase had meaning and was communicating something to the other. As I read Václavic's interactional view of communication theory, it struck me that this notion that one cannot not communicate extends far beyond the family system and is a reality of living life as a human being in the world. All day, every day, we are communicating to the people around us by the stance of our posture, the look on our face, the clothes that we wear, and the gestures that we make. Essentially, we as human beings say a lot to others all the time, before, during, and after we intentionally open our mouths. If we agree with what Václavic's premise, the question then of great significance and consequence is this: what will guide all of our communicating? Another theorist that found his way into my psyche this semester focused on the essence of communicating. In the golden age of ancient Greece, Aristotle deplored the technical devices of the sophists and explored the ethical dimensions of addressing the public. While the sophists traveled around and offered their rhetorical techniques at a premium price, Aristotle believed that morality and integrity trumped any compromising of the message in order to sway the masses. In Aristotle's seminal work, The Rhetoric, he focuses on 3 means of persuasion available to the speaker: logos, or logical proof that comes from the line of argumentation; ethos, or ethical dimensions, which reveal the speaker's character; and pathos, or the emotional response from the audience. The art of public speaking, defined through the wisdom of this ancient philosopher, is the ability to persuade an audience in truth and in a morally and ethically responsible way. In my 3rd-year communication theories class, we were challenged to engage these ancient and modern theorists by putting them to test in our own daily lives. I want to share with you a small portion of a reflection that I wrote this semester using the framework provided by Aristotle in The Rhetoric. During reading week, I attended a conference called The Hidden Legacy: Understanding the Impact on Children of Survivors of the Indian Residential School System at the Winnipeg Convention Center. I was struck on the first day by a speaker by the name of Gabor Mate, an MD hailing from Vancouver, BC. I was amazed by his ability to capture the audience in his plenary address through the use of eloquent speech on a topic that many people were sure to find difficult to grasp. He had new ideas and approaches to understanding addictions and medical issues, which, he stated, begin with adverse childhood experiences and culminate in observable adult issues. Mate was presenting very modern concepts in the realm of physical ailments that are fundamentally connected to our emotional and spiritual well-being. His lecture, appropriately called The Biology of Loss, suggested new ways of understanding the desperately horrible tragedies of the residential school legacy that have resulted in the virtual destruction of the family system in the Aboriginal community. It was really interesting for me to experience this man as he addressed the conference and to walk away wondering how or why he captured my attention and that of his audience so vividly. The only proof I needed to know that I was not alone in my experience of his ability to move the crowd was the fact that he had them all rising up to their feet to applaud at the end of his plenary address. I was left wondering why it had been so powerful. When I later read about Aristotle's convictions about public rhetoric, it became clear to me. Gabor Mate had incorporated logos, ethos, and pathos into his plenary address. He had met the ethical challenge of the moment, and this is what made it such a powerful experience. Learning about communication theories has set the course for my next steps. Drawing on Aristotle's ethical perspective of public discourse, the emphasis that I have encountered in the Communications and Media program at CMU has consistently acknowledged that communication is an act of stewardship. Aristotle criticized the sophists of the Greek world for promoting and practicing communication without integrity. Their only motivation was to teach others to succeed in persuasion for their own sake. Aristotle denounced the entire sophist tradition and boldly declared that it is unethical and immoral to ignore the responsibility that is inherent in the act of communicating a message to an audience. As I look forward to my practicum with the Aboriginal Peoples Television Network this summer, and I look forward to graduate studies at U of M in the Faculty of Native Studies this fall, I'm aware that my presence is an act of stewardship. God has entrusted me with the privilege and the opportunity to embody his good work in these spaces. Communication can bring life, and it can also breed death. I am now equipped with the knowledge and the tools to ensure that I do my best to breathe life through each action, gesture, or word. In every moment, I'm communicating something to someone, and that communication has the potential to impact their lives in ways that I can't even imagine. After all, as Václavic says, one cannot not communicate.